Welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I posted, and I figured I'd give you a little Samsquatch update and a DIY today. Looks a little differently than it was last on my channel. We got the big shinies on here, big coilovers. It's last time you saw it, there was a small casualty that happened, and I don't mean to spoil it, but the Samurai transfer case did a thing. Did what Samurai transfer cases do. So I'm done using that. But yeah, it axle wrapped really bad. And also snapped the transfer case. So I just said, screw it. August was the last time it was on leaf springs, and it got caught up to do triangulated 4-link front and rear. So now we're sitting at 106-inch wheelbase and still Samurai running gear with a little twist. That's not a Samurai transfer case. That is a Toyota transfer case that I made my own custom adapter to run in this thing because the Toyota transfer case is much stronger, but I still wanted to keep the lightweight 1.3 running gear. But enough of that nonsense. So since I dropped the 6.5 for a single 4.7, I had 410s on it before, and we got some 529s to throw on here. Shout out to my buddy Tyler. He hooked it up with this. I didn't have the instrumentation or tools to do these, and I don't do them often enough, although I may invest in a set just to start doing them. But we got some 529 Yukon 29 spline to throw in this unit. Hopefully get my crawl ratio back. Also, he's now on prop and has doors for the first time ever. That's, I don't know, super cool to me. Skins of doors, but doors. Keeps the heat in a little better because yes, I still have my heat. But yeah, last time I was out, well, the first time I was out, everything went fine, smooth gravy. The last time we went out to Gulches, I was turning around and I got into a thing. And as you see, something's amiss in here. It's in my glove box. And we're going to address this today. So this is my little DIY. I'm going to go ahead and swap these thirds. There's nothing special to do there, just a little disassembly and stuff. But so I'm going to swap these thirds out. Nothing crazy there. And when I come back, we're going to do the 7/16 bolt mod on these hubs. And hopefully this number never happens again. So nothing crazy. Let's get to it. I'll show you how to do it on the low. There was a little information when I looked into doing this. They didn't really say what kind of bolt you had to use for certain. There was just like a ballpark. So I will give you part numbers and everything down below, and a simple DIY with hand tools, because that's all I got here to make this happen. We got to get this thing ready to wheel next week. Might post some videos of it. Don't know. We'll see. But right now, let's get into some action. All right, guys, we are back. This is the update. 529 is in, 410 is sitting on the floor somewhere over there. But I'm at the point where I got to put these knuckles back on. So let's get back to our little DIY. So what we got going here is these original, having a brain fart, hub studs. They're rather small when you get to wheeling, larger tires, like that's a 37. And these things can't hang. And most people do stubs. I personally don't like stubs. Because some places I wheel, I end up being in 2-wheel drive high, and it just turns and everything easier because I'm locked front and rear. So I'll just go unlock my hubs and then, mosey on. And so I personally don't like them for that reason. I've never had an actual lockout explode on me. This is the first time this has happened, and I hope it will be the last time. But people say that the lockouts explode. But this right here is an RCV. Same thing as my axles. They're 3030s RCVs, and they come with these guys to put into your stock lockouts, so that doesn't happen, because those will break. And I have had that happen before, but the actual lockout, aluminum lockout itself, has not. So let's get back to this. I'm gonna show you how to take out these broken studs, and then we are going to drill and tap them with our new 7/16 bolts. And yeah, anyway, let's set that camera up and then we'll do this real quick. There's one of two ways that this can go, either really good or we'll be here all day. But I got a couple ideas when I run into situations like these. These are rather small. Typically I take a hammer and tap them around, and this one's already loose. Actually, I think some of them aren't loose, so I'm gonna try that first. Take the corner of your screwdriver, a rather sharp screwdriver that you don't care about, that won't be sharp anymore, and tap around and, you know, dance it all the way around until it comes loose. That's my first plan of action. Second plan of action is get a drill bit, which I already have armed here, and drill a hole in the middle and then slam a Torx bit in it, because I know these guys are loose. They've never had Loctite or anything on them, so they're rather loose. I'll take some heat onto them just in case they do try and bind up. But option number 3 is having to go get my welder, which I really don't want to do, because it can get pretty wild. If this was aluminum, no problem, but it's not, so I can accidentally weld to this rather than this. So we're gonna try not to go there. So let me knock these out and we'll get back to it. It's really hot outside, and I'm gonna try and do this quickly because I got 2 of them to do, and I still have to put in my rear 529, and I expect to do that today. So it's a sweaty one, boys. All right, so here we are. I already got 3 out, but I figured I'd show you guys how I did it. Screwdriver method didn't work, so I went and took my punch and center punched a little divot into all of them, and took a drill slightly smaller than this Torx bit, which just happens to be a T20. It was already twisted, so I figured I'd sacrifice it for this. If it twisted further, I didn't care, or broke off. But yeah, I took this, I think it's a number 17 drill bit, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. Sorry, 30. Number 30 drill bit. And I took and drilled holes into all of these, and then I'm taking this guy, just giving it a couple love taps, and that's how I'm getting these guys out. Like I said, these wouldn't take too much because they never had Loctite or anything on them, so I wasn't worried about them being frozen. As long as the first thread comes out, we're good. But we're making quick work of these. It'll probably be the last one. Won't want to come out. Perks of having cheap tools, you can just beat on the tools too. Pittsburgh special. Oh, this one's trying to get rowdy. She'll come out though. Nope. Come on, Bessie. Alright. So, last one. And oh. Wow, this one's taking some gumption. I might have to tack this a little further in. Alright, that's popping out. There she goes. If you're ever having a bad day, do something like this, and if you get lucky, you'll have a good day. Oh, shoot. You'll have a good day. when they all come out with no trouble. If they come out with trouble, it's a really bad day. Anyway, all 6 bolts are out. I'm gonna use the stud extractor to remove these guys for the next one, but let's focus back on this. Now we're gonna take and drill and tap these guys. The bolt specifications are here. This is the part number. There you go, you can screenshot that. Or the specs of the bolts are 7/16 20, 1 1/4 long, and I got a 7/16 20 tap. I ordered 2 packs of 10 bolts, so I have 20, and I ordered 2 taps, and I spent, I think it was right at $20, or maybe $22, something like that. So now I just gotta find the drill that I need for that guy, these guys, so that we can blow these out and tap them that size. So the drill that you'll need for these guys is a 25/64, and it just so happens that conveniently that was the one that was missing from my set. So I have a letter X drill. 25/64 comes out to be like 0.3907, 391. Letter X drill that I've never used is 392. So, yep, that looks close. Close enough for who it's for. You might not like this, and if you're one of those guys that are like by the rules, you might want to look away. But we're about to blow these out. Whoa, spicy. Stop that, girl. Whoa! I'll be back. Correction, I looked it up on Google and it says that a letter X is 397, but that's okay. That's still plenty of engagement on my thread. But now I got it chucked up in my vise, my very flaccid vise. But it'll work. So take this guy, keep going till it don't no more. Hold it as straight as the micrometer can, and then we'll go back and tap it. Go. Something that I did that I forgot to mention was I took this screwdriver and into a hole that I hadn't drilled yet and kind of ballparked how deep I had to go. And I lined it up right here, right? And I made a mark, which is barely visible, but I made a mark on the drill so that I wouldn't go further than I needed to. Turns out a 9/32 ratcheting wrench will work for me on the butt end of this tap. So I'm just going to do a little grease, shove it in that hole. But before I do that, I'm not going to be a barbarian here. Come on. I'll throw a little chamfer on that guy. And then we'll go in with the tap. As far as it'll go, come out, I'll show you the results in about, I don't know, 5 minutes, if that. And then I'll go ahead and do the other ones, and that'll probably be the end of the video. Yeah, I'm back. So I totally could have done that on camera, but I just took and bottomed this guy out in there until it felt tight, which was about most of the tap. I think I left about 5 or 6 threads on the top. And yeah, didn't even leave a burr. So I'm going to proceed to blind myself by cleaning out this hole. Yep, that went straight in my eye as expected. And we'll grab one of these bolts. See how well it threads in there. All right, here we go. So we got our bolt. And there we go. Yeah, that's it in all its glory. Awesome. After getting blue-balled and teased by Mother Nature, we have workable skies. It was black clouds, thundering. I cleaned up everything and went inside, and then the sun came out again, so I went back outside. And now it's cloudy, but this is okay. It's also like 7:30 at night, so. There's one more thing that I meant to say. When you go to install these, you'll realize that the bolt doesn't fit through these holes. You will have to punch this out at 7/16. You want to get it as tight a fit on that bolt as possible, which the bolt is 7/16. So punch your holes out. You will no longer use the conical washers. You'll just, put a little bit of gasket maker or put a gasket on this and put it in your hubs. But if you guys enjoyed this little video, it's just honestly pretty simple, but somebody may need it. Somebody may need the help, some guidance, part numbers, anything. So I'm just trying to help. I do stuff all the time. I help my buddies out all the time. A lot of people ask me, how do you know what to do? Well, you get in situations that you probably shouldn't be in, and then you figure it out. But yeah, it was a pretty simple thing. If you guys want to see more DIYs, want to ask Q&A about Samsquatch, I got plenty of other projects like Oscar. I haven't done an update on him in a while, but he's running, driving, needs a tune. I got a couple more Samurais I need to do work to in the back, some buggy stuff. I don't know. If you guys want to see anything in particular, drop it down in the comments, subscribe, like, I don't care. Do what you want. Remember guys, when you're putting stuff together, don't forget a little red Loctite. Alright, come on. Oh, there you go. Yep.